What's going on, guys? This is Pikachu OTC from Simple Trade. Welcome to another weekly review in which I'll be talking about some runners from the past week. And before we begin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss some of our future content. And if you are not on our Simple Trade Discord community yet, go to the description and join us right now. Now, the first stock that I'll be talking about today will be the company KGKG. And as you can see on the chart, it ran about 500% in a month and about 300% in only 2 weeks. Now let's understand the story of KGKG. Well, first of all, it is a pink current information stock, and they are a lifestyle company that specializes in developing hemp and CBD products in the functional beverage and fitness markets. They are focusing on the hemp energy drink, CBD energy water, and CBD water markets, and they believe that they have positioned themselves as a premium lifestyle brand. They have a decent float of 1.2 billion shares, and they don't dilute the stock. On March 7th, where you can see this insane volume coming in, the company released a press release saying that they announce its popular lemonade will be sold in Walmart bricks and mortar stocks. Now, I'm sure everyone knows what Walmart is and how big of a store it is, spreading all over America. And they also stated that the company set 2022 revenue projection at $8 to $10 million, and that was when the stock price was around the 0040, 0050. So that was about $4 to $5 million market cap at that time. So this is very big news, and that's the reason for the first breakout right here this week. Now the second run right here with the 300% of a run is quite of a surprise that it made this rally, because the reason for that run is the news that was published on April 4th, where they posted their first $1 million quarter and that they beated their expectation for their projected revenues by approximately 19%, which is also a very good news, because that means that their annual revenue will be more than $8 to $10 million. And also, if you remember, as the CBD got hotter, this is also a CBD stock, and because there is no dilution, because of its good float, and because of its nice story and revenue projection, the stock continued its rally for a 300% overrun and 500% overrun total. And that might not be the end. If we go back to the chart, we can see that it has more room to go up. So it'll be interesting to see where KGKG goes. And now we'll move on to the second stock of this weekly review, and that is RSHN. Was covered in this channel a lot of times way back in 2021. So if you followed us back then, you know that the story of RSHN is very interesting. It is a pink current information stock with a pretty heavy float of 7 billion, but they do not dilute the stock. They have very high revenues, high gross profits, high assets, and they tend to go for $50 million revenue for 2022. The story is very big here. So why was it at these low prices of the 008 and 007? Well, that is because there is an intention for a reverse split that was cancelled on April 6th, and that is why the stock ran 100% in one day with very high liquidity of 600 million volume a day, which is very nice. And if you were on our Discord channel, you would have seen the alert the second that the RS cancellation was up. We alerted it as fast as we could, and we also bought the ask and banked very hard on this stock. So if you're not on our Simple Trade Discord community yet, make sure to go to the description and join us as fast as you can so you don't miss these kinds of alerts. And as you can see on the news, the reason that they canceled the RS, the reverse split, was because the first intention of that reverse split was to provide more funding, and after 6 months, some historical issues were required, and that cost more money, time, details, and due to that they withdrawn the reverse split application so that they continue moving forward with their company's roadmap. And now their new path does not require a reverse stock split and still satisfy the funding needs. But to make things simple, just because that RSHN canceled the reverse split the stock ran so hard to the 0025, giving us a 100% overrun in one day. And today you can see that the stock is at the 0013, so keep your eyes out for RSHN because the reverse split is not here and the story is very interesting, and we might go for another rally very soon. And now let's move on to the next stock of this weekly review, and that stock is SEII. The stock absolutely exploded 2,500% in about 3 to 4 weeks. Now personally, I did not find the reason for the first 2 weeks of a rally this insane, about almost 1,000% of a run until March 31st, where their annual report was out, and until April 4th, where their first press release in a lot of time was out. So a little bit about SEII. It is an OTCQB stock, member since January 2020. It is a very low float, and by the chart I can say that it is under 100 million shares and even under 50 million, because you can see that such tiny volume, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, can get the stock to go up very hard and very nicely. There is no delusion, and the company transformed its business into global sharing economy sector in early 2020. Now on April 4th, the company released a press release saying that 3D Discovery Company Ltd, a fully owned subsidiary of Sharing Economy International, which is SEII, announced today that it has signed a strategic framework agreement with Suzhou Suxin Ruishi Technology Co. Ltd. The two companies will form a joint venture company to develop a metaverse platform based on Suxin Ruishi's Naked Eye 3D technology. So they are talking about a metaverse platform and a joint venture with a Chinese company, which is most likely a very big news in the OTC. And they also stated that they are expecting to complete the joint venture partnership within 45 days after a strategic framework agreement signed. Now 2 days later, on April 6th, the company released another PR saying that Sharing Economy and Hacking FOF Investment signed $30 million investment corporation agreement. Pursuant to the agreement, Hacking intends to make strategic investments in SEII with a total size of up to $30 million for 2 years period for several fields, as you can see on the news. Now $30 million on a low float of a company where its market cap was under 15 million or even less at the time is a massive news, and that is why a day later, on April 7th, the company ran in one day actually about 100%, giving us a total run of 2,500% in about a month or so. Now personally, I believe that these buying over here were inside information, because I did not find any reason for this run. Started March 14th, but maybe if you do your due diligence harder than me, you might find what happened over here. And now we'll move on to the final stock of this weekly review, and that stock is AHFD. The stock ran in about 2 days around 130% with very high liquidity. You can see one day 550 million volume. Now let's understand what happened over here. So on April 1st, after the market closed, the OTC Oracle bot showed that on AHFD there was an officer added, Scott Joseph Wallace, and it is a new CEO and CFO. And that explains the first volume a day after, a trading day after that. It was a Friday, so the next one was on April 4th. And you can see that as the market opened, there was murder slaps and the stock closed at the 0010 because of that new CEO. Now, why is a new CEO such a good news? Because that Joe Wallace has an impressive track record, and among that track record, Joe developed the first sport and management division of Kenya Anderson Capital Advisors, a registered investment advisor firm based in Los Angeles, California, with approximately $15 billion in assets under management. So this is a huge number, and a day later that DD was out and that DD got found, and that is why we had 550 million volume right here. And that's the run, the 130% run. It ran before the official news because of that OTC Oracle bot If you're not a subscriber of that OTC Oracle bot, I totally recommend it because it is the fastest out there in the market, and you can see that how one update can get you a lot of money, a 130% overrun on the trips. And on April 4th, the company released an official press release about that new CEO and about their new business line, which is chaga mushrooms from Eternal Cosmetics. Now that sector might not sound as sexy as it is, but with Joe Wallace, head of AHFD, I am sure we will hear more about that company and the revenue that he will bring in here, and I am sure we will see another rally sometimes in the near future. And that was it about this weekly review, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, and if you're not on a Simple Trade Discord community for the final time, go to the description and join us. It is free and you will get the best value you will ever find regarding the OTC. Once again, thank you for joining, and I wish you all a green and a profitable week.